And welcome back to What If. This is not actually this is Friday when this video pops out. Pre-recording because just work and just it's kind of easier when I have a day off. This one comes to us. Now, I couldn't find anyone else who wrote this, gave me the suggestion, but if I find it, I'll add it to the description box. This one comes to us from IMXNI, who asked the question, what if Super Saiyan didn't exist? And there's a reason I chose this for a one-shot, because Dragon Ball Z is going to get a lot shorter, a lot faster. So, obviously, we know Super Saiyan exists. We know the whole shtick of the Super Saiyan lore. Actually, according to, other sources, Yamoshi was the first Super Saiyan. He was actually the first Super Saiyan God, which was interpreted as the first Super Saiyan. I digress. So, what if Super Saiyan didn't exist? Well, let's roll all the way back to Namek. In the fight with Frieza, Goku, obviously Frieza survived the Spirit Bomb. Now, in the original story, Goku goes Super Saiyan after seeing both Piccolo get shot down and Krillin just explodes. And that's triggered his first transformation to Super Saiyan. Here we don't have that. Now, that's not to say he wouldn't get a rage boost. Saiyans are really prone to the rage. We don't see the rage boost really with humans that much. It's not impossible. Like, Tien, you could make an argument against Semi-Perfect Cell. Had maybe a rage boost when he was Shin Gikoing. But I think that was just him putting everything he had into it. And the Shin Giho is an extremely powerful technique. So, Goku would probably have a rage boost. And because Frieza was, even though he was at 50% of his power, he had also taken a massive amount of damage. His tail was missing. Notice that with Frieza, I think it's his left eye that gets closed. Just like, my eye. How dare you? How dare you? I remember the old Frieza dub actor. His voice was more like this. Absolutely. Instead of the more slightly feminine, more diabolical voice he uses now. No, it was more like he smoked a pack of Marlboros a day. It's a little bit going a little bit into my Vegeta there. But Goku might rage out, Saiyan Rage. Wouldn't have the Kaioken activate because his body just can't handle it. But Saiyan Rage, and it might surprise Frieza for a moment. Like, he gets a good couple shots in, kind of like when he Kaioken times 20. But ultimately, Frieza just blasts him through the chest. And, oh, Dad, no! Oh, don't worry. You'll be joining him very soon. And then, blasts Gohan and kills Gohan. So, with all of them dead, and Piccolo lying to die, Frieza just says that I'm done with this planet. Goes back to his ship and probably blows up the planet from orbit. So even though Piccolo, we know, is still alive, it doesn't matter that they have the Dragon Balls. King Kai might be urging Kami, you need to make the wish fast. They'll be doomed. If Piccolo is near death. If you don't hurry up quickly, King Kai might even make that request because he assumed Kami was dead because he thought Piccolo was dead. I was like, no, it's over. It's hopeless. And then, Frieza destroys the planet and Kami poofs out of existence once again, and the Dragon Balls are gone. So what happens now? Well, here's the thing. Frieza, this time around, has no reason to go to Earth. Vegeta's also still dead. They have no way of getting anyone back because both sets of Dragon Balls are finito. So what basically happens now? Well, Yamcha, Tien, Chiaotzu, they'll spend the rest of their journey training in the afterlife, probably eventually surpassing Son Goku. Unfortunately, Chi-Chi loses her freaking mind. Because what she actually thought would happen, the worry she had thought for Gohan and, Goku and all them, happened. They all died. So now she's pretty much just, withdrawn from the world and all that. Jiro doesn't even bother. I would imagine that Jiro would still make the androids, and he still has them made because he was preparing, but frankly, he doesn't even need to turn himself into. He probably turned himself into an android, quite frankly, for staying alive longer. Not that he really needed the power or anything like that, though he probably doesn't mind the power at all. So when Jiro and 20 show up, he's actually surprised that Goku's not around. thinking on it, the only fighters left at this point are Yajirobe, who's not a fighter really, Master Roshi, who is a fighter. We know he never actually stopped training. And that's about it. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who would be alive at this point. So, but that being said, luckily with the whole multiversal thing, multiverse. Multiverse is a bitch. So with that, luckily Trunks still shows up, and unfortunately this happens prior. Jiro might even realize Goku's just gone. He can't find Goku anymore, so he just moves early. So when Trunks shows up, everyone's like, "Wait, what's going on? Where's Goku?" He actually flies to where's Frieza? Frieza doesn't give a shit about Earth. Frieza's doing his own thing. It's like, oh, this isn't good. Meanwhile, Jiro in 20 doesn't need to activate 17 or 18. Hell, he doesn't even need to activate Cell, which is very interesting. Remember, it's pretty much confirmed that Trunks' timeline and Goku's timeline, or like the main canon timeline, are separated from each other. They don't affect one another. Yes, Trunks can travel back to that timeline, but what happens in Goku's time doesn't have any ramifications on Trunks' timeline. Like, killing the androids in that timeline didn't immediately just reset everything in Trunks' timeline. So Trunks immediately goes to Capsule Corp, and he's like, "Wait, sorry, he's like, who are you? Are you an employee of ours?" He's like, "Oh, hi." Your mom's like, "Oh, you look so tired. Yeah, let me get you something to drink." He's like, "No, I'm looking for Bulma. Is she around?" It's like, "Oh, yes, Bulma, dear. There's a visitor here to see you." So Bulma was just like, "Hey, who are you?" And she's like, "Oh, he's cute." It's like, "Yeah, cute." It's like, "Yeah, I'm just wondering, where exactly is everybody? You know, Goku, Tien, Yamcha, and Bulma's like, "How do you know about them?" Because no one really knew them personally. Did you know Goku personally? Were you a athlete, or did you used to play ball with my ex-boyfriend? Who are you? It's like, I can't really tell you that, but you can tell me this: they're all dead, all of them. Wait, where's Gohan? And then that's where Bulma starts. Actually, no, Bulma. I take that back. That doesn't have either. I completely forgot this. Bulma's dead. There is no Bulma. Yeah, Bulma's dead. I completely forgot this part. You think I would have remembered that, but I'm like, no, Bulma's on Namek too. No, Bulma's dead. So let's back up real quick. He visits Capsule Corp. Like, yeah, I'm looking for Bulma. Like, how do you know my deceased daughter? I was like, wait, deceased? But she's, and it's like, Mom's dead. He says that, he says it in his head. She's dead about several years ago on going to a strange planet to help try to save her friends. As far as we know, she went bravely, but unfortunately, she couldn't make it. She didn't make it out of there. I was like, but how is that possible? And then Trunks is like, oh crap, baskets. Realizing multiverse, it's a bitch. So wait, what are you guys doing about the androids then? Androids? Oh, and then he just suddenly clicks on the TV. He's like, you mean Jiro and his flunky? It's like, wait, Jiro? Oh, please, he may call himself an android, but I don't recognize Jiro anywhere. Son of a bitch. So wait, but those aren't the androids from right there. What the heck is going on here? And now Trunks decides to go investigate it. Unfortunately, he can't find Jiro, really. Because he can't sense energy. But eventually, Jiro would pinpoint on him, and, they face off. It's like, who exactly are you? I've been able to take over this entire planet. I'm in the process of taking over this entire planet. I don't need any interlopers. You do not register in any of my databanks. So who are you? It's like, the question is, dear doctor, who are you? I know, scratch that. I know exactly who you are, Jiro. And I'm here, the guy who's going to kill you. And so, you want the answer to that question? I'll tell you. He pulls out a sword and goes Super Saiyan. And even Jiro and Saiyan is like, what? What is this? It's like, I'm the guy who's going to kill you. And then, now we actually don't know how power level wise, because we don't have official power levels on the android, or Goku, or any of the gang at that point. Because once you get past the Namek saga power, all the power levels are kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's fun numbers to have, but even the writer said they became irrelevant. Not that you couldn't measure them, they became irrelevant. Anyway, now it's where I was going with that is it's tough to say where Trunks actually would stack up against the androids. Because we know that if Goku had been at full power without the Heart Virus, he could have easily taken 19 and Jiro. He probably could have easily taken him. Because Piccolo was able to easily take Jiro, quite frankly, even having some of his energy drained. But we know that Trunks wasn't even as strong as Goku when Goku first strode back up. He was able to block Trunks' slashes with just his finger. And it's not implied Trunks really got any stronger from that point. We know he easily took on Cold and Frieza. So would he be able to easily take on 19 and 20? We know that 19 and 20 are also much weaker than 18 and 17, who are also much stronger in this timeline. But that's not to say that it's all about, compare and contrast. How do they stack up to this character and that character, and through that can we figure it out? We know that the androids 18 and 17 are stronger in the canon timeline than they are in Trunks' timeline. But we also know that Jiro and 19 are weaker than them. It's possible they're roughly speaking in the same ballpark of the Trunks' timelines, 17 and 18. But we really just don't have anything to compare it to that much. I'll say this. I do think Trunks could definitely beat 19, but we know Jiro was stronger, and it's hard to gauge how much stronger. But we do know he was a little stronger. He was the guy in charge, basically. But that said, he easily just I imagine he would just blitz Jiro and 19 and just suddenly their heads go clean off. Just, well, how did he? And just blast them. It's like, this isn't good. Oh man, I gotta. And it's like, well, he just defeated the androids in one go. And then he goes back to his. How did you do that? Look, seeing as she's dead, there's no point in hiding anything anymore. The timeline's completely screwed up. I'm from the future. Bulma was my mother. It's like, what? I can even show you the time. It's like, baloney. You were my little girl's son in the future? You're from the future? Prove it. Throws the capsule. My goodness. And he checks out the hardware and he goes, it really is a time machine. You're really from the future, aren't you? You're really... Oh, I can also go in his canon voice. You're really from the future, aren't you? It's like, yes. It's like, my grandson. Look here. So who is the lucky man who scored my daughter? You knew him as Vegeta. To which Bruce said, you're joking. It's like, not really. No, that's how I can do it. That's how I'm part Saiyan. It's like, unbelievable. But I suppose that's not totally surprising. I mean, Goku's boy was half Saiyan as well. Yeah. Don't worry. I think we can. I'm sure we'll figure something. We can make him bring him out. We can figure something out, right? And it's like, I'm sorry, boy, but without Kami around, the Dragon Balls just won't work. And is it? Well, what if we got another Namekian? He could bring the Dragon Balls back, make the Dragon Balls work. True, possible, but unfortunately, all the Namekians were killed. It's like, Trunks is like, well, this isn't good. I was like, well, maybe still, you can at least try maybe talking to Mr. Popo or something. He lives. Kami's lookout. I was like, oh yeah, Kami's lookout. That's right. So he goes, flies up there. Hello, is everyone here? Who are you? What do you want? And just sees Popo there. Still very stoic, like Popo would be, like, kind of his hands behind his back. But also, you can tell this is a Popo that's kind of broken at this point. He's seen Kami come and go several times out, and now he's just gone. And none of the RZ fighters are even alive. So Popo is kind of just, he's kind of broken at this point. But it's still, he does his duty, take care of the lookout. It's like, you're Mr. Popo, aren't you? I'm Trunks. It's like, how may I help you, boy? And then, and you can tell there's something about this. And he explains what he explained to Dr. Briz. Like, I see. So you're looking. So the androids are ravaging your timeline, and they would ravage this timeline too. But you were able to defeat them. We're very grateful for that. Normally the fighters of Earth would be here and able to help, but unfortunately they are no longer. I was told there's got to be some way to bring them back. Unfortunately, there isn't. And again, you think I'm going somewhere where they can bring the fighters back, but there's a reason there's a one-shot. Without any of the Dragon Balls and without any of the other Z fighters around, you could get Whis to do it in Super. He brought Frieza back without actually have to evolve. Or you can have Baba bring him back for like a day. But here's the thing: even if Baba brought Piccolo back, Piccolo's still dead technically. Like he has that. Like Goku had the Halo. He's still they brought him back to the world of the living for a day, but he's still dead. That's the thing. So even if they brought Piccolo back for a day, it wouldn't work. So it's a real shit show. It's like, well, look, there might be some. There's nothing you can do for this timeline, boy, but there might be something we can do for yours. Oh, what do you mean? Follow me. This is the room of spirit and time. And he explains the hyperbolic time, saying you can get a year's worth of training in just a single day. Originally, when the room was the original room could only be used twice a day. As far as I know, that's still the way. It's still the way, though it can be recalibrated if necessary. It might take some time to do so, though, but it's still 2 times should be more than enough. But if you, I can really do. Really, this is so great. I warn you, though, boy. The room will test you. If you are not sound enough to pass it, you may come out worse than you went in. I'll do. I will do it. And then Trunks goes in, and Trunks struggles a lot though. But he's still, because it's just everything's gone. He's so laser focused. He's able, I think, to get through it. Now, what are the results of Trunks training this version? I do think he probably doesn't have that super ultra Saiyan form where he just keeps getting more and more muscles, but he does have his ascended Saiyan form. And he goes back in for the second time, just like he did. Nothing really comes out of it. He doesn't access Super Saiyan 2 in this version, but I think he does get a perfect Super Saiyan form, and that puts his power right around where it was in the Cell games, maybe a little higher. So he comes out and is like, "Thank you for everything you've done." He's like, "Now go and protect the people you can still protect, boy. There's little more we can do but live our lives. The people we know may leave us, but we'll always have the memories to hold on to." And gives Poe like, "Thank you, Popo." And so he goes off and goes to the future, kills the androids, kills Cell, because Cell will show up eventually, and he's way more powerful than Cell. Unlike in the original where he was not. So what happens now? Well, there is no Cell games. I mean, Cell actually does show up still, and there's no Cell games because Cell does show up. Eventually finds the androids, becomes perfect Cell, and has no real purpose, so he just blows up the planet because he has no real reason to be on the planet anymore. And he doesn't even... Actually, no, he doesn't. I take that back because he doesn't blow up the planet because Frieza's cells aren't a part of him, which means he can't survive in space. I mean, I don't think he can. I mean, I know he's got Frieza's cells in him, that's why he can partly breathe in space, but he's also technically an artificial organic life form. We don't know if he breathes. We know he eats, or drinks in this case. This also makes the question, the androids aren't androids, they're cyborgs. They probably can't survive in space. Cell's a weird one. We know 16 could survive in space, because he is an actual android. Yeah, that's actually a weird one. I don't know, without Frieza's cells, if Cell could survive in space. That's actually an interesting question, because I don't know if... I mean, we see that he does breathe, because he has to gasp for air. But, that's one I never thought about. Anyway, so, let's assume that he can't survive in space. So what does Cell do? He knows he can't leave the planet. Maybe, and even if he threatens, the Brits, they're not going to make him a spaceship. Because he's like, "No, I'm not going to do it. You might as well just kill us now." It's and Cell probably would do that. And so, now Cell, I think, would conquer the Earth. And there you go. Maybe he would enslave humanity, do his bidding, all that stuff, all that jazz. Yeah. That being said, he probably doesn't go to Kami's lookout or anything because it just never has any reason to. So now what happens? Well, eventually Babidi shows up with the Bora, and this is where things get interesting. Because Cell's running the planet, Babidi and the Bora are trying to get energy from people. It's like this. It's like, "My lord, there's one mass of energy in that direction." "Yes, I sense it, Deborah. Who would have thought that would have been such a powerful individual on this planet?" Now, perfect Cell, without blowing up and getting the Zenkai from it, was nowhere near as strong as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at that point, who was stronger than what Gohan was in the Cell game, or in the Buu saga, or at least the first part of the Buu saga, when he got his energy stolen. And that Gohan's energy is, roughly speaking, half of Buu's, assuming that Yamu and Spokovich didn't steal any other energy. Cell probably is somewhere in that range, But it's also said that the Bora is equal to perfect cell. Now, is that perfect cell before that Zenkai or after the Zenkai? I'm inclined to think before the Zenkai. Because again, Gohan was significantly weaker. And we know that Deborah was a little bit stronger than Gohan. Not by much, but we do know he was a little bit stronger. So that tells me that, yeah, he's probably a little above half of Boo's full power upon initial release. So that tells us that's where Cell is. And Babidi, assuming he knows this, when he gives Cell, assuming he gave Cell's energy to Boo, might still try to kill Deborah. And he's like, all right, give me your energy, Deborah. But still, he's got to kill Cell. And Cell and him kind of face those like, who are you exactly? I say, I am Deborah, king of the demons. Ah, yes, and I'm Babidi. We were wondering if you might aid us with something. See, we've come to your planet for a bowl of energy, and you seem to have oodles of it. Would you mind sparing a cup or your entire body's worth? It's for a good cause, you understand. Yes, no, you don't seem to understand. I don't think you are the ones who understand. You're on my property. That is this entire planet. So I'm going to give you a choice: vacate the premises immediately, or cease to be, or become ash and fertilize my weeds. Like, you really think you uppity little upstart? You think you could actually take us on? There's one way to find out. Oh, how about another way? He starts doing magic, and Cell's actually starting to be like, oh, what are you? You couldn't give it to us willingly, but we could fight. But instead, how about we do this? I make you my slave, and you give us the energy you have. You bastard! How about you go to hell? And just blast body, but Deborah blocks it, and they start duking it out. But they are legitimately evenly matched. So what happens? Well, Deborah still has an ace in the hole. It spits right in Cell's face. He starts to what is this? He's like, you see, I am Lord of the Demon. I can do many things, including turn you to stone. And he just kind of takes his own head. It's like, what the hell? And all of a sudden, the head pops back up. Like, just blasts him point blank. Deborah just gets energy blast. He's like, you. That's enough, Deborah. It's complete. What would you have me do then? Yes. Oh, still trying to resist. No, it's fine. Deborah, if you'd be so kind. With pleasure. Don't. My orders are don't resist it. And, they steal all Cell's energy. Cell just kind of collapses. Remember, Cell's actually technically still alive. He's just had all of his energy just taken. It's not like when he takes energy, he's actually consuming someone. It's just they're taking all of his ki. So they go back and give it to Boo, and he's at now 60%. My what? That's a lot. Beautiful. Yes, beautiful indeed. Now we can go around collecting. Ah, yes. We could do that. Or we could go another route. It's like, Lord Babidi, don't worry. Don't worry. You're too valuable of a pawn for me to sacrifice the Bora. The others, on the other hand, and all of a sudden, Pui Pui and Yakan. Hey, Pui, Yakan, would you come here, please? Is it? Yes, Lord Babidi. How can we help you? Could you hold on to these for us for a second? Deborah, and you saw it's like you're all no, hold them like this. It's like, what do you need? And I was yes, what do you know? Deborah's like, and he steals their energy, puts the energy in there. The Boo goes up to 80%, and then they go around taking other humans, and they awaken Boo. And then they go off and have a lot of fun, just blowing up planets. Until eventually, one day, they come across Frieza. And, yeah, Frieza didn't take too kindly to it. Unfortunately, Frieza has not been training like he did in the original Resurrection F, and gets utterly wasted by Boo. Probably turned into candy. And, yeah, just done. Ended. And I don't know if Boo transformed, because it didn't transform when he ate Deborah, which was interesting. But he transformed when the Thin Boo ate Fat Boo into Super Boo. Then when he absorbed Gotenks, Gotenks and Piccolo, he took on that form. Then absorbed Gohan, took on that form. But yeah, when he eats something, except with the exception of Boo, He might gain the level of strength equivalent to him, added on to his own, but he doesn't seem to transform. It seems to be more when like the pink goo just covers him up. So yeah, after that he would pretty much be Bobbity and Boo and Dabor just going around destroying things until Beerus eventually wakes up and just says, "All right, I've had enough." No, it can't be. I had to believe Bobbity knew who Beerus was. We have no idea how old Bibbidi was, but he was old enough. Boo was considered old in as old as time immemorial. And we know Beerus is in fact older at minimum, possibly. We know he's at least like 5 million years old. So if Boo was around before that, then maybe he's older than Beerus. But Beerus hibernates a lot. That's why he doesn't know about Boo initially. Either way, Beerus just kind of messes them up and goes about his business. And unfortunately, nothing good is coming out of the rest of that because Earth's gone. Beerus has no reason to go to Earth because Earth's gone, all that. Hey, King Kai gets to live until Zeno just wipes out all the other universes, which he eventually would do because the turn in the power was Goku's idea, and it gives them a way to save themselves. So yeah, this one ended on a dark note, but yeah, it's actually really important that Super Saiyan existed. Like in theory, does Super Saiyan overall as the series goes on matter? Not as much because new ways of getting powerful emerge, Ultra Instinct, God Ki, all that. But the fact does Super Saiyan not existing have a severe impact on the story as a whole? Absolutely it does. Without Super Saiyan, Goku wouldn't have beaten Frieza. And if that's the case, everything changed. So that's what I think would happen if Super Saiyan did not exist. Let me know what you think in the comments below, though. Put in the if you liked it, great. If not, it's okay too. Well, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Click that like button if you liked it. Click that bell if you want notifications. I just who would win Star Wars Superhero Magic, what if anything to do in the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll do a review of it at some point. I still got the who would win for today. And as you'll know from yesterday, I'll have the Pokemon Part 11, if I'm not mistaken. It's 11. Part 11 up as of yesterday. And something else. But you know what it is already. Thanks for watching. See you later.